So, as some of you may know, Russell Means was a big proponent of matriarchy. In other words, egalitarian family systems. Um, and this is a clip where he's going to talk about very much what I've been talking about, how the history of what he calls patriarchy is really the history of empire, right? Going back to Sumer and Egypt. That these societies were organized around ultra masculine ideals. Okay, now the one thing that I'm going to disagree with Russell here is his use of the word patriarchy. Now, I'm kind of a word nerd, as you may be realizing. For me, the word patriarchy is inexact because a patriarchy describes a society where you have a family and the father is in charge, right? Basically. Well, that's not the society that we have, in my opinion. I would describe the society that we have as a hierarchy. In other words, it's not a father making decisions for his whole family, telling the wife and the daughter do this and that. It's a group of male priests. It is a priesthood. Just like I told you about Sumer. And what is a hierarchy? Well, you know what a hierarchy is. It's the symbol of a pyramid, in a sense. But what is a hierarch? Most people know what a hierarchy is, but they don't know what a hierarch is. Isn't that interesting? Well, a hierarch is a high priest. The word hierarchy itself refers to the priesthood that invented the society that we now live in, just like those priests created Sumer. And so it's not a patriarchy, it's a hierarchy. It's a group of men behind closed doors having their super manly secret religion together, doing their super manly secret rituals together, and writing the history of the society, deciding what the mathematics will be, what the language will be, what the stories will be, the mythology, everything is decided by these men. They completely cut women out of the picture. And so it's not a patriarchy, because a patriarchy implies that there's still a family there. Whereas in a hierarchy, the family is completely gone. The women, children, no, it's just men. It's a group of men belonging to a super male religion, which I discussed in my last video. And so that's my only criticism of what Russell is about to say. And I would just say that wherever he says the word patriarchy, substitute the word hierarchy, and he's exactly right.
You know, if we do not make this major change, then there isn't any hope. Because look at the history of patriarchy. The history of patriarchy is in reality the history of empire. Patriarchy demands poverty. It demands it. And it demands slavery. A well-to-do slavery, like the merchant class and the middle class, so-called middle class, so that you'll slave the majority part of the day so that the rich can get richer. And you will slave for them because you do not want to end up in poverty. That's the reason I don't care what kind of political system the male creates, they still need poverty. There's no egalitarian society possible.
You can't build the pyramid of hierarchy higher without increasing the lowest level, which is the people that you've oppressed. Again, he's talking about hierarchy.
And patriarchy, because it's a market economy. People have to be rich, and people have to be poor, and you've got the slaves. It takes a minimum of 8 hours a day for the slaves to fulfill their responsibility. Another reason I'm a born again primitive. So I ask you to take a look at matriarchy. And we will be looking at that very soon. The next weekend update. Dokshake.
So I'm going to leave it there for now. We're going to be taking a few more looks at Russell. I mean, his channel is just criminally underrated. Yeah, matriarchy and just simplicity, primitivism, like he said. Let's be born again primitives. So it's just becoming clearer and clearer that primitivism is freedom, nature is freedom, and technology and hierarchy are fascism, and they don't come to a good end. They never do. Look how fast this civilization has risen, and it's going to fall even faster. Meanwhile, sustainable societies can go on indefinitely in a time that never ends until the next, comet hits or whatever. They're fine. But us, once the rug gets pulled out and the grocery stores are closed and they shut off our bank accounts, we're finished. We're helpless. So, if you want to survive, we better learn to be born again primitives, like Russell means. It's the Great Plague.